Whaatwaa family, welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy, Mr. Whaatwaa. Today. Hey, yo, skirt, man. Check this out, yo. We got a video today. It's called Nuclear Weapons, Blackmagic And Jinn. We about to get into it now. Remember, this is your first time on the channel. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe and join the Whaatwaa family. We are literally the littest family on YouTube. And that's, hey, back now. Also, before we get started, man, put a like on this video. Remember, if you got a video you want me to react to, get down in the comment section. Let me know and I will get to it, man. Let's go ahead and get into this reaction.
The Renaissance period and the Enlightenment period were involved heavily in magic. And you can study this in the history of it. They were very interested in alchemy, and all of these sciences came out of these occultic sciences. So there's a relationship between very, very sophisticated sciences and magic. That's the point. Very strange things can come out of this. So there's a lot of magic going on, right? And a lot of people are literally under what I'm trying to say is that, because this is it's very difficult to understand this properly. A lot of what's happening today is in this realm, and it's very difficult for people to understand this. But when you study it, what you find is that a lot of the people involved in mass control are actually heavily involved in this science, and that's what you find out when you do the research. Many of the people that are involved in film, many of the people involved in music, many of the people that are involved in newscasting, they know how to manipulate the minds of people. And whether it's done with this type of magic or simply with the power of technology and the higher magic, the result is the same. You get people that are as if they're possessed. And this is why it would be indistinguishable. You know, we've got kids that are stabbing children. We've got people that are just shooting people and not knowing why they're doing these things. And this is coming out of a culture that is really, really profoundly disturbed in its essence. Because no civilization that was healthy would produce the type of games that they're exposing these young children to. No civilization that was healthy would produce the type of films where the main character tortures people and chops off their fingers and their hands, or slowly tortures them to death. Muslims would have never come up with these type of ideas, because their culture is not it's not a demonic, dark culture. It's become demonic and dark because of a lot of madness that's happened in the Muslim world. I mean, there's a lot of demonic, dark things going on, and these people are really. Dostoevsky called his book about the terrorists the possessed, and in one translation it's called the demons. I don't know the Russian word for it, but he certainly understood that there was something demonic involved in this. It's difficult for people to deal with this stuff, but when you actually find out about the characters that were involved in producing a lot of this technology, and you read the history of it, you find that they were really involved in a lot of these things, which is very strange. And when you see the result that these things have on people and the effect that they have on them. So Arthur C. Clarke, who said that advanced technology becomes indistinguishable from magic, was involved in magic. He was involved in numerology. It's very strange that they place these satellites at 22,000 feet, because those are their numbers: 11, 22, 33. They like multiples of 11 and things like this. But these things are real, and jadoo, whatever you want to call it, it's real. And I'll tell you something just personally. For me, I didn't really give a lot of this credence, because I wasn't raised like this. I mean, my father was a college professor. I certainly wasn't raised with the idea, like magic was something, you know, I thought magic was pulling rabbits out of hats and things like that. When I became Muslim and I heard all these things, and in the last few years it's become much clearer to me how much this is actually a force working in the world. And it makes much more sense to me now why there are so many hadiths and so many protective du'as against this stuff. You know, أعوذ بكلمات الله التامات من شر ما خلق. This is evil. And also أعوذ بكلمات الله من همزات الشياطين. You know, the influences of the demons. You know, the Prophet ﷺ said, وَأَنْ يَحْضُرُونَ, or that they should become present. You know, so the demonic realm is real. And there are people, unfortunately, that are actively involved in attempting to bring that realm into this realm. And this is where it gets very strange. And they're certainly into numerology. It's a big thing with these people. So he's warning us and saying that this is madhmum. So that's a harmful knowledge. The second reason he said is that that is harming other people. So the knowledge is used to harm other people. We've got pedophiles, we've got rapists, we've got sociopaths, and these people are demonic people. And Imam al-Ghazali says that they've actually given the shayateen al-jinn a rest. Like they're doing so much work now, the shayateen al-ins, that the shayateen al-jinn are just kicking back and watching it all happen. So there's a lot of demonic forces. Now, whatever you want to call this, if you want to call it magic or whatever you want to call it, these are terms for phenomena in the world. That's the point. And obviously it becomes very difficult because magic is totally haram in Islam. But Imam al-Ghazali will argue in the Ihya, in the Bab al-Safar, that delving too deeply into mathematics is prohibited. And I know a lot of people have problems with that, but if you look at a lot of what's happening on this planet that's so destructive, it's because of this knowledge that has come out. I mean, Muslims use mathematics for very positive things, like building buildings and finding the Qibla and determining the prayer times. They would never have used it to build bombs that could annihilate whole populations. So now we have to deal with the fact that, you know, the men that invented the nuclear bomb were all, you know, wizards, really. I mean, they were wizards. And some of them were involved in black magic. This is simply a fact.
All right, Whaatwaa family, hold on, man. Before we even get started into this, remember, I'm gonna put the link in the comment section. I mean, not in the comment section, but in the description for you guys to go and check out this video. It's from Merciful Servant. The channel, I'm gonna put it inside the description. I want you guys to go over there and subscribe, because Merciful Servant is the #1 source on YouTube for anything, especially if you want to, you know, broaden your knowledge about the Islamic, you know, religion. This is like the best channel. So I'm gonna put the link in the comment section. Make sure you go over there. Now remember, Whaatwaa family, if this is your first time on the channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe and join the Whaatwaa family. Also, before you leave the channel, make sure you go ahead and put a like on this video. So let's talk about this. It was talking about the nuclear weapons and black magic. This makes sense because you have to be somewhat of a wizard or somewhat of a person that likes to dabble into black magic to be able to make something that could annihilate a whole population. That is so true. Because, and then the thing that we're talking about, the movies, like, how do you mentally sit there and create a movie that is torturing somebody? Or how do you sit there and create a movie or a show that's mentally or physically, like, you know, killing someone or torturing them and doing so many bad things to them? So it's like to the point where, like, someone's mind has to be somewhat demonic. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have somewhat of a tick, like something that makes you tick to make you create things like that. And then to me, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, like, for me, my favorite type of movie, my #1 favorite, like, genre or whatever style of movie is horror. I love horror films. I love my favorite movie series of all time is Saw. I don't know if you guys ever watched that movie. It's spelled S-A-W, Saw. If you ever watched Saw is like a movie. It has so much torture. and they kill a lot of people in that movie. But to me, I'm not really how can I say this? Like, I'm not really fascinated about the torturing part or the killing. I'm more fascinated about the part, like, because everybody goes through a stage of testing. So I'm just more fascinated with the part of, like, people going through tests. And it's a test where if you pass the test, then you survive. But if you fail the test, then you die. But the whole time you're getting tortured. So my whole thing is, I'm just more fascinated about who created the test. Like, who created all of these mechanisms? Like, people are going through, like, different mechanisms, and their hands are getting twisted up, and head being turned all the way around. Like, it's so many weird things in there in that movie. Like, if you never watched Saw, I recommend you to go watch Saw. Like, there's so many movies. I think, like, don't quote me, guys, because, you know, anytime I do these reaction videos, the videos are always live. Like, I always just put the camera on. There's no really too much editing. So right now, I really don't know how many movies they have, but I know there's at least more than 3. I know there's more than 3 Saws. So go watch Saw, and you will see how, when you watch it, you're going to be like, how does somebody think mentally of how to torture someone and kill someone it's a game. It's so crazy because it's a game, but then the one weird twisted thing about it, it also has a storyline. Like, there's a storyline to the whole movie series, and to me, that's the thing that I'm more engaged with, you know, when it comes to that movie, you know. So when they talk about, you know, things like Blackmagic and Jinn being in the movies, you know, being in the entertainment world, I do believe that, because you have to be a sick individual in the head to come up with these or create these things. So with Whaatwaa family, if you have a movie that's, like, you know, related to that, like torture, killing, or whatever, you know, things like that, like a very scary horror movie, post the title of the video, the title of the movie, because I would love to watch it. Like, I would love to watch a video, like, you know, more movies like that, especially because, you know, I'm watching more, like, American horror, you know, movies. So it would be cool to, like, watch other movies, like, around the world that are, like, horror. Then the second thing is about movies, the second video genre of movies that I love is comedy. I love comedy movies. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But I feel like for you to be able to think in the comedy world, that's why I say entertainment world, you have to have, like, a certain kind of mindset to be in the entertainment world. So I think when it comes to even comedy, to be able to sit and figure out, how are you going to make other people laugh? Are you going to make them laugh with, you know, doing jokes, or are you going to make them laugh by doing a funny gesture, or are you going to make them laugh with a funny movement, or are you going to make them laugh with a funny noise? So those things, when you come to think about movies and think about the whole world and think about how things are created, you have to think, like, someone has to not be in their right mind. Like, for you to be creative, you have to not be in your right mind. So it's like, for you to be the most creative person you can, is it really reaching outside of your thought process to get to that? And if you reach outside of your thought process, does that mean that you have to allow certain thoughts to come in for you to process them? Negative and positive, to be able to come in, to be able, so you can process them, to be able to become, like, someone that can create something. You see what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, like, especially with the one creation now, like, people are getting all these, they're called rings, and they put them on their front door, and it has a camera on it, so you can watch somebody. Like, you could be at work and you can turn the camera on and you can watch somebody come into your door. You can talk to them, everything. Like, for the person that created that, you had to have a mindset to think that people are always trying to break in, people are always trying to steal, people are always trying to rob, people are always trying to hurt someone at their home. So you would have to think mentally of bad things to create a good thing. You see what I'm saying with Whaatwaa family? Like, that's the thing that I'm getting from this video, and it's so, you know, it's so straight to the point, and it makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. So with Whaatwaa family, get down in the comment section, let me know what y'all think about the video. I'll let you guys know what I think. Remember, if you got a video you want me to react to, get down in the comment section, let me know. And also remember, if this is your first time on the channel, make sure you go ahead and subscribe and join the Whaatwaa family. We are literally the latest family on YouTube, and that's a fact. Also, before you leave the channel, put a like on this video. Remember, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Why? Because I post videos every day. So please take care. Stay safe.